Alright, it's going to be episode 2 today of Heroes Charge Arena. Sorry the last video got cut out, but unfortunately, I had a phone call that kind of shut the video off, which gave me a break to kind of chill and do a few things I needed to do. So, let's get this started. We're going Grand Arena this time. Alright, so right now my rank is 656. Let's see, I don't think I've had any recent replays because I don't really get attacked a lot because I'm not that high in rank. If I can ever get to it, let me just exit out and back in. Trying to be all trippy. Oh, that's not what I want. I guess I don't have any replays to show you guys. Because I did have a defense win a few days ago. I guess the time limit has passed. Alright, so this is my team for Grand Arena. I have 3 teams. The first one on the top is Turtle Fighter, Cleric, Commander, Hidden Needle, and Lightbringer. Basically, Turtle Fighter's there to distract. Cleric would heal Turtle Fighter potentially so that he won't die so quick. Commander will beat down any tanks in the way. Hidden Needle will knock off anybody in the middle. Multiple people at the same time, hopefully. And then also Lightbringer will stop any, ninja assassins or, arcane sappers. Team 2, and this is one of my defense teams. We're doing Dwarf Warrior. Uh, Oh, I forgot her name already, so let me just go back. I think it's Depth's Voice, but let me just confirm. Yep, Depth's Voice. Okay, so Dwarf Warrior, Death's Voice, Griffin, Cloudwalker, and Queen of Curse. Death Mage is my tank. Death Mage, God. Dwarf Warrior is my tank. I keep calling Death Knight Death Mage. I gotta get out of that habit. I'm not even talking about them right now. So Dwarf Warrior, Death's Voice, Griffin, Cloudwalker, Queen of Curse. So you got 2 tanks in the front. Uh, I like Death's Voice because she can put them to sleep and she does the entire field. She's really good. And she can do some damage here and there. She also can pop out a clone with her legendary ability, so that's kind of cool too. I've always liked her. I've just been kind of iffy if I ever want to use her or not as a tank in regular arena. I think Turtle Fighter is the best tank really for regular arena. That's just my opinion. If you're going offensive, at least. And as far as defense, it is Dwarf Warrior is also better. There's just so many better tanks that I really don't like using Death's Voice anymore. Griffin, of course, we all know I preach about him all the time. He's just a DPS awesomeness with some control abilities. Cloudwalker, he's really more defensive for me. He can be DPS if you're fighting the right team against the right team, but I mainly use it for defense. And then Queen of Curse is just one of the best backline heroes in the game. Very versatile. Switches people around, so has some control abilities, lowers their defense, so you can, deal more damage. She's just really good. Oh, and then she can heal somebody with her ultimate. So pretty good. My third team, and this is the team I'm using for the championship. So I just signed up for the most recent championship. So this is the team I'm going to be using, at least in the beginning. So now on the third team, it's Death Knight, not Death Mage, Soul Hunter, Fallen Dominion, Death Mage this time, and then Sorceress. This is more of a Death Mage team because his legendary ability basically ups basically the defense of anyone of his race. And everybody on this team except for Fallen Dominion is of the same race, so they all get a bonus. So it's more of a synergy team. But this is probably not going to see the teams that you're going to see right now because when I'm fighting people, I switch it around all the time. Grand Arena is a lot more difficult, a lot more different. So let's see who we can fight right now. So we're going to look for teams anywhere from like 200 up to like 5 something. We're not going to fight anyone in the 600. That's kind of a rule I always make. If you tap on the hero, you can see which teams they have. Now, if you're of a certain rank, you can't see their third team. And this is the same for for regular arena, but for very higher tiers. But for Grand Arena, uh, if you're a certain rank, you can't see their third team. If you're even better to some degree, they can't see your top 2 teams. So that kind of makes it interesting. I kind of like not being able to see what they're gonna do. It just makes the game more interesting. All right. Anyway, do I think I can beat these teams? Is the question. Um, well, the Rose Fencer team, I don't think I will win against. I don't know. I'm just gonna try. I'm not even gonna go back and forth and just debating if I can win or not. I'm just gonna go for it. Forget it. All right, so we're just gonna go one team at a time. So what team will be good against these guys? Well, actually, you want to look at every team they have that you could see. I'm actually going to start with the Rose Fencer team because I got to make sure that I'm not using a bunch of females. And guess what? The team I currently have set up for my offensive lineup was last all females. So we got to take out all these frontline ones. Um, yeah. Now, Grand Arena is a little bit different. If you have a defense team and you just win, you don't necessarily win. I think when it comes to a Grand Arena, I think it's whoever deals the most damage wins. So you can't just turtle up and like win all the time. So this might actually be a little easier for me to do if I can plan this correctly. But I'm gonna do the source, the not sorceress, but the Rose Fencer fight first, just because I want to make sure that I have a bunch of male heroes more or less, and maybe one backline female. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of all the teams I have for all three and just start over. I do this every time I do the Grand Arena, and I recommend you do the same thing too. You can't just use the same three teams and just mop the floor. It doesn't work that way. So what we are going to do is find some good male heroes that might be able to win. So I'm probably going to go for a bunch of front and middle line males. The reason I say this is because, Rose Fencer makes it where I can't use females, but if I use a female in the back line, their puppet master is going to destroy them. So a really good defensive team, I have to say, for at least for Grand Arena. Grand Arena is a little bit different. You can't just put four tanks and win. Like you got to use some strats. So what I have to do is find out what middle line and front line heroes will be good against these guys. So I could use Rose Fencer to potentially shut down Commander. That might not be a bad idea. Let's say if I want to make sure my tank is okay. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to use Dwarf Warrior versus his Dwarf Warrior. Uh, and then I will use Rose Fencer to stop his commander. Now, let me look at the first team. There's two females, but I would only be able to defend against one of them. I really just defend against Commander as opposed to Death Mage because Death Mage is not as much of a threat to me as Commander is. So yeah, Rose Fencer will be specifically for Commander. We're gonna go Dwarf Warrior against Dwarf Warrior as my tank, and then we're gonna go for some DPS males in the middle and front. So let's see what we have. Now I may end up dabbling into some of my orange people that are orange plus two, because anyone that I have that is at least level 102 is orange too, with all equipment, all enchanted. So they're going to be kind of like the bench warmers, if you will, that might get to play maybe. And I go back and forth because right now I'm been kind of focusing on team two. I go to team one just to make sure that there's not like someone I prefer to use on certain teams that I want to mess with. Now when I'm looking at this first team, he has a turtle fighter. The best person to use against turtle fighter, in my opinion, is Imperial Executioner. If you don't have Imperial Executioner high enough, you could try Ember Star. Um, but I don't know. I kind of like him. I think not Death, but Master Mage is not bad either to kind of make them disappear because then you could focus on beating the crap out of them, right? I'm going to use an opposing turtle fighter just because I want to be able to distract them as well. So as you can tell, I'm doing both teams at the same time, and then we'll deal with the rest after I finish my second one. So back to the second one, the one that I think is going to be more of a challenge. I'm going to need someone that can really just deal with a lot of tanks, or I got to find a team that can deal with Rose Fencer and Puppet Master. I can go for some, AOE people, but it would have to be like Griffin. I wouldn't use Fallen Dominion because he just sucks against like teams with a lot of tanks. He hasn't been so good in Arena these days, in my opinion, anyway. But just a thought. We could also go with. let's see. I don't really want to use a second tank. Actually, I should stop using just frontline people. Look at the middle. Um, See, I don't think Cloudwalker would fit here either. I use Cloudwalker to distract people like Imperial Executioner, which is a matter of fact, because he has Imperial Executioner, bam, Cloudwalker. So that kind of worked out. So again, you got to plan at the same time. I know I'm spending the entire video on one fight. I do apologize, but I want you to understand what it takes to do well in Grand Arena. All right, so hmm. Actually, I'm not going to use Master Mage. Just FYI, I have a plan. Um, so let's go ahead and try. We're going to do Ember Star here to, to deal with Turtle Fighter as well. And then as far as a backline hero, I'm actually going to use Queen of Curse. All right, so that's team one. Team two, we're gonna go with, you know what, screw it, we're gonna try him, and let's go with, hmm, we're gonna try Tusk Storm. I kind of like Tusk Storm. I've always been wanting to. Yes, you know what? No, we're gonna do Ninja Assassin. I never use them. All right, so we got team one built, team two built, and then team three is going to be random. But against a random team, I want to try something kind of fun. We're going to try this guy. There's a special team that likes to use her. Let's see, Master Mage, that guy, and her. All right, this is the team that actually you should be running Windmaster. As a matter of fact, I probably should be taking the frontline guy out for Windmaster. I might actually do that. Let me think. Is she high enough? No, she's not. I haven't leveled her much lately. So no, I'm not. We're just gonna do it this way. So the thing about this team, I really like it. I just don't have them all read yet. Is the guy in the front? I believe his name is Lightning Master. Whenever he dies, he lowers some of their energy. And then behind him is going to be Master Maze. Whenever she dies, due to her legendary ability, you guys gain a bunch of energy. And then basically you use Master Mage, letting her die, so that Needle, Sorceress, and Lightbringer can do their ultimates at the same time and potentially wipe the team out. The proper way to build this team is for me to take Lightning Elemental out and probably put in Windmaster. I just don't have her good enough at the moment. But right now, this is going to be as good as it gets, and hopefully, I get to a third fight so we can see this in action. Now that I've been talking for 13 minutes, let's actually play. Let's see if my idea is any good or not. See, Imperial Executioner pretty much slows down Turtle Fighter and can pretty much beat him up. Let's say Queen of Curse put Death Mage within grasp of my backline people. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll see. See, trying to kill Turtle Fighter is such a pain, as you can tell. He does not like to die. But let's see if we got him. Manipulator on their end is pretty good because he could potentially shut my people down. Unfortunately for my opponent, I didn't lose any ultimates. And I gotta say no to this song because I actually don't like it. Alright. We're actually doing pretty good. I should move it to where you can see the timer. The timer is very important. But there you go. I actually won this fight. So basically, Ember Star was the MVP in damage, which is pretty cool. I did not expect that to happen. Turtle Fighter did his job in distracting. Cloudwalker, distracted their Imperial Executioner as well as Turtle Fighter. Ember Star with just the damage and Queen of Curse with the control. Like, it was actually a lot better fight than I thought it would be. I'm not going to talk too much about their team. I mean, they have good teams in general, but this is Grand Arena, so it's hard to be a judge or a critic. Alright, so can I go 2-0 then? Was these 13 minutes of me talking to you guys worth it? I hope so. I don't want you guys thinking, man, all this guy does is talk. There's a reason I'm doing it like this, guys. I want you guys to actually do well. I want this game to be competitive. You know, I want people to actually think. So my Ninja Assassin's currently going after Puppet Master. Since Puppet Master doesn't have a backline hero to kill, he's not going to do a whole lot of damage because these guys are typically stronger. But my Rose Fencer is dead. I honestly don't think I'm going to win this. I'm not going to lie. I don't see it happening actually this time. We're not doing as well as we were the first time. Which is actually kind of okay, because then you get to see this other team that I think is kind of fun. And can be good. Against their mystery team. Oh, yep. Nothing but Griffin. And he's about to die. Getting close. Yeah, they didn't lose not one person either. So, wipe out for me, wipe out for them. Look at the stats, and Griffin was, MVP on damage on my end, but wasn't good enough. And apparently their Puppet Master did a lot of the work. Fight 3, guys. Let's see what happens. Who are we fighting against? Arcane Sapper. Oh, this is perfect. Because Arcane Sapper is going to get so stomped by our friend. Oh, wait. Actually, wait. I'm confused. So, my Queen of Curse. No, their Queen of Curse moved my Ninja Assassin, or my Lightbringer, to where Arcane Sapper got pushed to, which was in my favor. Lightning Elemental just died. Oh my god. We're kicking this team's butt. This is not working out the way I planned, but it's still working. Wow. Nice. Okay, so that battle was kind of awkward. I'm not going to lie. This did not do as I planned, but it was still won. But yeah, look at that damage. Hidden Needle with the 100k. Lightbringer and Sorcerers both holding the 80k mark. Master Mage at 65k. And then Lightning Elemental's not really there to deal a lot of damage. He's really there just to slow them down. So I'm going to try to recap that because it was hard for me to keep up with. So as I would predicted, the Arcane Sapper went after my Lightbringer. It was actually kind of scary because when Arcane Sapper attacks Lightbringer, he also attacks Sorceress. What happened, which was kind of cool, was Sorceress used one of her regular abilities to throw a ball that pushed Arcane Sapper. At that same time, their Queen of Curse switched one of my people with Lightbringer. So they put Lightbringer right in front of Arcane Sapper, which saved my Sorceress for a while. Like, that was just REG at its finest. And then we just started dominating from there. Like, that was just fantastic. So I'm glad that... See, that 13 minutes of me talking meant something, guys. Haha. Alright, so the question is, do you want to see another fight? Do you guys have enough in you to watch me struggle for another 13 minutes? We're going to say no, actually, because that took a lot out of me. What I'll do is, in the next video, I'm pretty sure people will attack me, so we'll see how my arena defense teams actually work. And then maybe you might see me spend another 13 minutes picking a team to fight. But that's what it takes to win Grand Arena, is just completely emptying out all three of your teams and just looking at what they have and trying to build a team based off of that and hope it works out. We 1-2-1. You guys take it easy.